Welcome to the 27th Junk Journal July Embellishments. So you're getting a twofer today, but I have a little announcement to make before I start. So tonight I'm actually going to be doing a live at 7 o'clock UK time, again using up some scraps. So you're having a twofer because I forgot to, when we did all these little folded envelopes, I forgot to actually show you something that I did want to share with you. So this is what I want to show you, the paper clips. So with these little envelopes you need some strips, and I'm going to use this piece of card here and cut it into a strip. It needs to be a sturdy card, not a piece of paper. And I'm just going to snip it up the middle, but I'm only going to snip it so far. So as you can see there, look, I've only snipped it so far, and this piece I'm going to stick onto, let's stick it on that one, onto the back of this envelope. And the other thing that you can do is snip up the middle of each one of those little spurs and then cut from the point to the middle, so that you're making like a little banner shape. And then we're just going to put some glue on the front side here. And stick our envelope on top. And then what you can do is you splay those two apart, put one behind your pocket and one in front of your pocket. In fact, I probably need to do that a little bit higher. And there you go. So your little envelope is now sat. Let me take that card out so you can see it better. So your little envelope is then sat on top of your pocket. So you've made a paper clip. Second project is this is not Tim Holtz collage strips. I've got loads of scraps of cardstock and file folders and scraps at ends of paper, and I'm catching up with a few things because obviously I've been away for a little while due to health. So I've only just really found the collage strips. So I'm going to do my piece on this. And I've got obviously loads of strips of paper. Now other people have been cutting them out to a set width. I just want to fill my piece of paper with some of my scraps. So I'm going to sort out a collection of colours that I think go well. I'm not including images or anything at this point. I'm just really concentrating on putting the colours together and gluing them to this piece of card. So I'll be back in a second. I've sorted two piles of colourways out. So I've gone for sort of fairly neutral. So this one's a very neutral one, and then for this one I've gone kind of greens. So what I'm actually going to do now is this piece is actually the right width for my piece of card, but I'm going to cut them into strips, and you can use your paper trimmer for this just to get it nice and square. I have varying widths, so you know, you want some thin and you want some thick. And once I've got them in a semblance of order that I really like, I'll then glue them into position. Let's put that one next, I think. maybe that one, and then maybe a darker one. And I want a couple of thicker ones on there as well. Okay, I'm going to carry on cutting out my little strips, and then I'll come back and show you what I've decided on. So this is the arrangement that I've decided on. I've got some text in there as well. Now at this point, when other videos that I've watched, they've added pictures in at this point. I'm going to add mine on top after I've glued these in place and trim off the excess. So I'm going to now go off and go and glue these, and I'll come back. Okay, so I've glued 2 lots in place, and then I'm just going to spin it over and trim off the excess. And I can straighten up the edges of these on my paper trimmer later. I've got a whole host of things off to the side that I can now start adding on top. So I've got a selection of numbers, I've got a selection of mini adverts, I've taken some photographs, printed photographs, and I've punched them out with my little square punch, so I could use those. I found this piece of paper that's got this strip on it, so I could cut that out and put that on it. I've got my stamped numbers, I've got my stamped fabrics, I've got my stamped tickets, and I've got some Tracy Fox labels. So I have a whole host of things off to the side that I can start to decorate these up with. Now, I don't want to go overboard and do overkill, but I do want to make them look attractive. So on this one, with it being the greens, I thought I might add one of my leaves on there, my stamped leaves on fabric. I quite like that number as well, so I might put that one on too. I think it needs just maybe one more thing on there. Maybe that bingo card. And that's a Tim Holtz one, and in fact what I might do is just overlap these a little bit. Okay, so that's that one kind of sorted. And I think I'd need to ink the edge of this little lady up. Got the bottom of a cabinet card, so I could add that on there. In fact, I tell you what, we won't put a hair on. Could add some Mr. Tim Holtz peoples on there, maybe not him. Like that one. Maybe a word label. Maybe even a ticket. Yeah, quite like them. Okay, I'm going to go off and go and ink up the edges of these bits and pieces and trim them down so that they're nice and square, and I'll be back shortly. So these now are completed. I hope that you can see them all. I'll do a close-up picture at the end, and I've done 2 others as well. One decorated, part decorated, and the other one not decorated. I've really enjoyed doing these because you get to play with all your little bits and pieces, which I really like. And if you want to know what you can use them for, so if this is the page in your journal, you could add it onto the side and have it as a pocket or a tuck spot. You could cut them up so that they're shorter, so it almost becomes like a cluster, and you can decorate up a pocket or an envelope, or sort of the likes of this one could become a belly band. And you could add some lace on the back. Again, it's not to teach you how to make these, but it's hopefully to encourage you to have a look at your scraps and see about creating something for yourself. Okay, thank you for joining me today. Hopefully I'll see you at the live tonight. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you all again tomorrow. Bye for now. Bye.